What's up, my nerds? Welcome back to another episode. First Nerd on the Right. I'm your host, Mr. J. And today's a cool episode. We're going to talk about some new stuff that has been announced in the last couple of weeks, the last month or so, right? I know it's a little late in the uptake, but I still want to give my 2 cents, my thoughts, updates on, what I personally want to be getting in the near future and what I'm skipping, etc. So without ado, let's get into it. And let's start by talking about some of the dinosaurs that were revealed, updated, and or teased in Prime One Studios showcase that they had like 2 3 weeks ago or whatnot, right? So we're gonna start off with them showing us the Tiger Raptor that they have, their 1/6 scale, right? They had already shown us a digital rendering of it before, unpainted, right? All just grayed out. Looked like a very cool concept. In this last showcase of theirs, they did show it painted, and I think it looks really, really cool. What you come to expect out of a Prime One Studio, statue, right? So again, we already know what the concept was. It was the Tiger Raptor in a very dynamic pose on top of that tree branch, within the remnants of InGen Jurassic Park's I guess base, you would call it, right? A compound, right? You got parts of doors, you got parts of wheels, you've got windshields, etc. So I think that was a very cool concept, and now that we have it painted, we get to see again in a dark lighting, right? So it's not 100% ideal. We don't know exactly what it's going to look like quite just yet, unfortunately, but we do at least get a pretty good idea what the paint's going to be looking like now. Again, we're going to have to wait for the perfect pictures, right? Once it officially comes out and we get better lighting. But based off what we see here, so far so good. I'm really liking it. I think the paint job looks really nice. I do like the detail on the vehicle. It looks like either it's a Explorer or Mercedes wheel. The color is a little, again, muted. Color, the lighting's not great, so I can't exactly tell 100% what vehicle I'm looking at here. But it is a Jurassic Park vehicle. We see, the Lost World emblem on it, which is pretty cool. It is the first Lost World statue from Prime One, so this is the first time we see that emblem. So pretty neat. Again, we see close up on the face. At least all the colors look like they're there. Everything seems correct. The eye has a pretty nice shimmer to it. I'm hoping they put gloss over the eyeball, right, to make it pop a little more. If they could put some sort of a finish on it, or at least make it plastic or something along those lines to make it look more glass-like, right? Maybe just a clear resin would do the job. Obviously, it's not ECC. We're not going to be getting glass eyes out of them, or maybe we will in the future. Who knows? But anything other than just directly painted on, I think would be a big plus for them. But that aside, the face and the paint does look pretty nice. Again, not really much complaints based on what I'm seeing here, although it is, again, not a final representation. It's just a color tease, right? But still looks good. I think it's going to be a pretty nice addition to anyone's collection. Price wise, again, it's not released. I don't know how much, but based on just the way they've been pricing things lately, these last JP3, right, Raptors that came out, I believe those were $1,000 each. So I'm assuming these will probably be around the same 1,100. I'm guessing, something along that price range. They did also reveal, which this one was a full surprise, right? Full reveal. This wasn't something that they had shown before. They showed us their Pteranodon statue, which I think is probably the one that kind of stole a lot of the attention Jurassic Park wise here, right? something that we weren't really expecting from Jurassic Park 3. Again, I think if you are able to put all the Jurassic Park 3 pieces together, I think it's going to look really cool in your collection. The Spinosaurus, the male, the female raptor, and then now we have the Pteranodon. I think that's going to look really, really cool. Um, Again, it's not a most perfect, ideal condition to show everything that they have to offer. Again, the lighting could be better, but does look like it's at least a little lighter, light wise, showing off the Pteranodon than they did with the Raptor. I don't know if that's just a creative choice on their part, but we do see much more detail in this Pteranodon. So you basically getting the Pteranodon in its nest, right? You got a bunch of little babies here. You got the little nest. You got skulls. It's been feeding, humans to it. You do see the fencing, right? The railings, the steps from, the giant bird cage that it was in. So they did do a pretty good job in putting everything together, give you that full scene. You know exactly, what it's representing. It's not 100% accurate, right? Because when we did see the Pteranodon nest, it was basically on a rock formation by itself, right? It was not on the metal railing. It was not on any steps. And there was nothing there. Here they're giving us a little bit of both. Again, artist representation. I think it works, right? Everything flows. The idea is very, very cool. They do have this separate baby here, which I'm not sure why it would be by itself, other than, it was brought to my attention that maybe that was a bonus part for it, right? Because a lot of these Prime 1 statues usually come with bonus parts, so that may be its bonus. Idea wise, like I said, I think it looks really, really good. Paint wise is where I have a little bit of complaints, right? It seems very muted. The Pteranodon, when you did get that really cool close up, you see a lot of color in its beak, right? Lots of different hues, lots of different variation with the detail. Looks beautiful. Like ECC, they got it. They got it right. It looks gorgeous. This, however, just looks a lot of brown. Not seeing a lot of that yellowish tints. I'm not seeing a lot of that markings on it, right? Which I feel is unfortunate because it's a beautiful dinosaur. At least it was in the movie. Hopefully they work on the paint job. They tweak it a bit. I think that'd be ideal. And depending on the price, it doesn't have a scale on it when it was released, well, teased, right? I'm assuming it's going to be 1/6 scale. I did see a picture floating around that was sent to me with the Raptor and the Pteranodon next to each other, and they seem to be the same size base. So I'm going to assume it's a similar scale. It is a much taller piece, it seems like, if it is the same size base as a Raptor. So it may be a 1/6 scale Pteranodon that we're looking at here. Again, very neat. It's all going to depend on price, right? I know a lot of us may not have been able to get the ECC Pteranodon, whether it be for price or size, because that thing was absolutely enormous, very wide, very big footprint, right? Whereas this one, if it is going to be the same typical 1/6 scale base that Prime 1 Studio does, this may be a better alternative for those with less space and for those who are trying to spend less money as well, because Prime 1 Studio tends to be less expensive than ECC. They give you payment plans. It may be a more budget friendly piece, and I say that with quotations because it's still going to be $1,000, $1,100. That's just a lot of money. Let's not kid ourselves here, right? It's a lot of money for these things, but maybe a good second option. And then, of course, last but not least, they did tease another dinosaur. This is gonna be the Tyrannosaurus Rex from the new movie. It's gonna be a 1/6 scale. That's wild. Now, I remember when they did announce this, I was unsure because I didn't really see a lot of the trailers. I don't like watching a lot of trailers. I only see the first trailer for any movie and then I stop. Because nowadays with social media and 1,000 trailers, they give away the entire movie. It's no fun. Sucks away all the surprise out of these movies, and I hate that crap. I don't watch a bunch of trailers. Give me trailer number one and that's it. Enough to hook me, and then I wait. I did end up seeing this movie last Saturday. I thought it was pretty good. Obviously not amazing, but it wasn't as bad as I was expecting it to be. Again, my expectations were pretty low. I can make a separate short video on my review on that movie. But in my opinion, I don't think it was a bad movie. I thought it was fun. The T-Rex, I thought was gorgeous. It was a very healthy original T-Rex. It's not Rexy, so she's not all skinny and old and anorexic like they did in the Jurassic World movies for her, which I'm not a fan of. I'm not a big Jurassic World dinosaur collectible guy, but this Rex was a very healthy, very cool looking T-Rex, and I'm super curious to see what they're gonna do with it. I have seen some numbers thrown around. If I remember correctly, it's 77 inches long. It's a full 1/6 scale. It's going to be similar to a maquette. So I'm expecting, based on those measurements, full tail extension, full tip to tip, big boy. Very interested to see what that looks like. And most importantly, how much are they going to charge for something that big? Because that's huge. I'm expecting a good $4,000 easily. $3,000 to $4,000. No doubt in my mind. But let's see. And last but not least, either a week or two ago, Iron Studios dropped this huge surprise as well. Was not expecting that whatsoever. Now we all know that Iron Studios from like 5 years ago was the Iron Studios where it was at. They had the awesome Jurassic Park pieces. They were big dioramas, big 1/10 scale pieces that like holy shit. And even their 1/20th scale pieces that they've been doing are not that bad. When you really look at them, I just feel like for the size, it's a little overpriced. I feel on a lot of them. And I didn't really get the Gennaro one. Not super interested in that T-Rex chasing the Jeep. I want a 1/10 Jeep. I don't really want a little 1/20th. But their 1/20th Brachiosaur diorama, that was pretty big. It was super tall. It's wider than it looks. And it's a whole scene, right? And I think a rare piece, not a lot of them were made. Not a lot of them ever go on sale, and even when they do go on resale, it's ridiculous price. I've seen them go for like $3,000. Too much. And state of mind that I'm probably never gonna get that, and I was okay with that. And then all of us out of nowhere, they were releasing it, which is wild. Who would have thought that they were gonna re-release it? And it's gorgeous. It's the same size, same price too, which is pretty bananas. I was expecting, if they're going to re-release something, they would release it for more. Especially for something that size. It's bigger than the Gennaro one, and it's the same price. So the only difference between the original one and this re-release is this one has more updated paints. So it's a little darker side. It's not as bright as the other one. Other than that, you can have a different color Jurassic Park I guess what would you call it, plaque at the bottom, right? And updated paint on the characters, updated paint on the grass, on the tree, and on the dinosaur itself. Other than that, it's the exact same sculpt. I did look at pictures side by side. I looked at it a lot, and I couldn't really find any difference other than that. So for those of us who missed out, including myself, this is a great opportunity to get your hands on that Brachiosaur. However, for the ones who did get the original one, I have seen a lot of complaints from you guys, and Again, it's fully understandable. I totally get it. It takes away from the value of having such a rare item, right? Numbers were so low. I had news that in Brazil it didn't even release. They were stuck in customs. They were asking, the government was asking for some ridiculous tariff on it, right? It's taxes. Iron Studios opted not to pay it. It was cheaper not to pay the whatever they were asking for than to accept it and then sell it, right? So their batch is stuck somewhere in a container. So that makes it even less worldwide. And then now we got this re-release. So what happens with those who got the original one? Will that version be worth more? Will that version be more sought after? We don't know, right? It's definitely going to impact the value on it. There's no point in paying $3,000 for an original one when you can just pay, $9.99 for a re-release. So I get both sides. I do. I'm can definitely put myself in everyone's shoes and look at it from everyone's point of view. However, end of the day, I don't have it. I wanted one. Now I get the opportunity to get one. I pre-ordered it. If all goes well, I will be getting finally my hands on this Brachiosaurus diorama next year. So that's pretty cool. And yeah, other than that, that seems to be an update on the most recent dinosaur news, statue wise, collectible wise, right? So pretty cool. I'm excited. Again, I don't have a lot of funds this year, so I'm only getting right now pre-ordered. I have the Buck from ECC and now this Brachiosaurus from Iron Studios, and that's gonna be about it for now. Don't really plan on doing much of anything else. I did cancel my Jurassic Park 3 male and female. For those who don't know yet, I mean, if it hasn't been obvious, I never received mine because I canceled them. I had them paid off, but I'd rather use those funds for my vacation, and it was well worth it. It's already been spent. So thanks for stopping by. Thanks for watching my video, and stay tuned for more videos, hopefully in the near future. Again, I want to do a quick little review on the movie, see what you guys think about it. And I still need to do a review on Itachi. He's still there. Need to put him in one of these cases. Need to move things around. Need to do a review on him in general. I get it. I know. But anyways, thanks for everything, guys. See you, my nerds.